I'd like to start off by acknowledging that the land on which I stand is Wurundjeri land, that land which I've been educated on through the entirety of my schooling. This land which fostered and was fostered by the education and passed down wisdom of generations and generations for tens of thousands of years and hopefully tens of thousands more. I want to make a commitment to righting wrongs going forward past high school. Say thanks to the ability to grow up and learn on this land, acknowledging the fight of Indigenous Australians and acknowledging any Indigenous elders past and present and any Indigenous people with us today. Sovereignty was never ceded. This was and forever will be First Nations land. When I started in Year 7, I used to walk to school with my brother and his friends who were in Year 10. We always used to walk past this house on the way that this young couple and their baby lived in. And they had this golden retriever in the front yard all the time. One of my brother's mates told me that if you call the dog, you can pat it through the fence and it'll bring something from the front garden in its mouth every time. Sometimes it was a thong, sometimes a stuffed toy, sometimes a t-shirt. When I was in Year 10, my brother and his mates left school. But I would still walk home and I would still call the dog and pat it through the fence. In Year 11, they got this tiny little puppy that looked a bit like a rat. And it used to come to the gate with the big dog to get pets. I remember when they got a trampoline and they had had 2 kids at this point, and I could hear them laughing over the fence. I don't think I heard them use the trampoline once after that. When I would walk home late from sports or musical or anything, you could see the light coming from their house and they would be watching some sort of kids show. Sometimes I would walk past in the morning and they would be getting ready to get in the car to go to school. One time when I walked past, one of the little girls said to me, "Mum, look at the boy." In the middle of this year, I saw that there was a big for sale sticker out front. And a couple of weeks later, there was a big sold sticker put on it. Last week, when I walked past, I had to walk around the driveway because there was a moving truck in the way. The truck was open in the back and the house was completely empty. The outdoor tables, the chairs, everything inside, the trampoline, everything was gone, except this raggedy old t-shirt on the floor. And it hit me that as I went through all high school, I saw this young family grow up. And as they grew up, so did I. And now that family has moved out and I'm about to leave school and everything feels like it's changing. Every time I walked home from school, the house was there, the family was there, and now it won't be, and neither will I. Now, why is the school captain talking about how he stalked this young family for 6 years? Well, with that idea of growing up, I think it's easy to get caught in the trap of thinking this is it. Leaving high school, we're done now, adults. But what's important to remember is that this whole thing is just the start of growing up. We don't have to have ourselves sorted out to know what we're doing going forward. There's no limit on the time we have to make mistakes and try again. But I feel confident in the knowledge that this school is being passed on to capable and loving hands. Good luck to the 2023 Year 12 cohort and to Nick, Charles, Lucas, Edward and Ben. I know you'll all do great things, and remember to look after yourselves in the big year that is Year 12. I want to thank every single teacher that I've had or interacted with. To Mr. Smith, Miss Romanen, Miss Lane, Miss Neal, Lay, Chen, the Legal Eagle, Miss Crane, Miss Paxton, Mr. Cunningham, McIntyre, Mondio, Lucomedes, Kirkwood, Novacek, and so many others. I could thank you every day for the rest of my life, and I would still not be able to fully express my gratitude. Thanks, and also sorry as well to my parents and family. The support you've given me makes me feel like the luckiest person. As much as I might not show it, I am so grateful for how you have raised me and how you continue to be an example of empathy and kindness. I want to extend that thanks to the Year 12 parents here today. You should be really proud of the young people that you've raised. A big one to my mates and my peers. The reason I'm so sad to leave is because of the fact I won't see you every day. Won't see Mario not rock up to homeroom. Won't see Liar Liar Zorabino lie again. Watch the cushioning sequels. Won't see my mates around the corner next to those weird smelling trees. See Kane on his chair, Will on the ledge, Taj stealing Tom's containers. When a teacher says, "Bit breezy out here, isn't it?" I won't hear Tom say, "Thanks, miss," again. Play wall ball and get into the most intense arguments ever had. All I can say is from the very bottom of my heart, thanks. You were always there for me, and I will always be here for you. The ongoing support of this community is its best trait. It's now all of your jobs to keep that up. As we move on, as we pack up our moving trucks, as the class of 2023 takes their place as the heads of this college, keep up the legacy. That culture of familiarity, of humility, of inclusion, and of mateship that I see every day in my peers. Our relationship with Rosehill and our unofficial sister schools that we've tried to foster this year. Listening is how we learn. That is the legacy of this college. Don't forget to make the most of your time here. Take the opportunities, put yourself out there, pat the dogs through the fence on the walk to school if you can. At the end of my first speech this year, I said, considering 2 years of COVID, let's get Bernard's Way back. As a community, particularly a big thanks to the Student Council, we've raised an insane amount of money for Live for Lily, the World's Greatest Shave, St. Vinny's. We've gotten back into St. Albans tutoring, our school musical, our sports, all back and thriving. I can safely say that this year, the spirit of this school, the Bernard's Way, is back and more alive than ever. I hope I've led you well this year, and extending my thanks to Dr. Davies and all of you, I want to say how much I appreciate being your school captain. In my interview for the role, one of the questions that I was asked was what I think a Bernard's boy looks like. To answer that, I decided to give a bit of a stupid cop-out answer. But as much as I avoided answering the question, I still stand by what I said. A Bernard's boy is no one thing. They are everything and anything that they want to be. In the least cop-out basic way possible, from year 7 to year 11 to the year 12 class of 2022, as we grow up, remember to support each other. Be a good person before anything else. I kind of wish I was joking about this next part. I'm walking through the rain on Wednesday, listening to Billy Joel, having a D&M with myself about tomorrow being my last day. It's pretty cinematic. I stop at that house I pass every day just to take a look. I'm not expecting to see anything, but when I look a bit closer, I see a dog bowl, and to the left, I see 2 new dogs cuddled together in their bed under the veranda. One of the dogs sees me, gets out of the bed, walks up to the fence in the rain, and puts its head up for a pat. I'm thinking about how happy I am that when a Bernard's kid and his older brother and his mates walk past this house, there will be a dog here to pat, even when I'm gone. That even when we're gone, the year 12 class of 2022, the older years will still get told off for playing on the year 7 basketball courts, that there'll still be fights over down ball, that the year 9s will complain about Santa Monica and 3 years later call it the best thing they've ever done. That there'll be mates on the cola, on the ovals, on the stairs, around that little corner. That the Bernard's legacy, that our legacy of compassion, of love, and of mateship will live on forever. Thank you.